David's vision about XI. I thought he wasn't really interested in about this peaceful, this this visits for peace.
The two leaders seen again just moments ago, and Mary Bruce standing by tonight. Also this evening,
So the U.S. Navy is the strongest, the most powerful navy in the world,
the man
right?
who attacked Nancy Pelosi's
What is?
husband. How the leaders began their meeting, what they said to one another. But first tonight, the breaking news, what ABC News is learning right now about a potential release about 50 hostages, including women and children. Israel's claims
But I am
blatant
not
lie.
even in the West Coast in San Francisco right now. How can the XI come to pick me up?
The medics racing to evacuate patients,
saying they killed several militants outside the hospital, and that they now control part of the complex of 9 buildings, conducting interrogations and searches. Plus, calling the allegations a blatant lie.
Why they
ABC
put
News could not
it
independently
behind that
verify those claims, but the
MIR
White House says
machine?
U.S. intelligence supports Israel's assertions.
But does that justify laying siege to a hospital where there are hundreds of patients who are already in dire circumstances?
We're fighting Hamas. We know that this
Hamas
is another
put
stronghold
those
by
weapons
Hamas, and we're
behind
going
the
after them wherever
MIR
they are.
machine.
And they have also said there are tunnels underneath the hospital, and we pressed them. Did they find them?
Is there any evidence of the tunnels being, or the entrances to the tunnels being inside the hospital?
We've found hundreds of tunnel shafts that have already been exposed, booby-trapped, many of them.
But I mean at the hospital.
Yeah, so I'm saying in the surrounding area, there's hundreds of tunnel shafts that we've already found. Now, this is inside the hospital and also in its vicinity.
The Israeli... They claim the ICU is out of oxygen and about 40 patients on ventilators have died.
President Biden and China's President Xi. The two had not spoken in a year. The careful choreography today, after months of growing tensions between the two countries. Today, the handshake, the smile, and after a 3.5-hour meeting. Just moments ago, the images
Only
coming
half
in as
an
we're coming
hour?
out of the air, the unexpected
Whoa.
moment, the two
Three and a
leaders
half
on a
hours.
walk.
Oh.
But there were many key issues going into this. China's relationship with Russia and with Iran, its stance on Taiwan, and fentanyl coming from China, among the many sticking points. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, at the meeting site outside San Francisco. She's in Woodside, California tonight.
Are pulling up inside China's leader, President Xi, about to get out and greet President Biden. The two leaders had not spoken in a year.
Oh my
And
gosh,
China
it
not
wasn't
even
what
heeded
I
the
was
phone
told,
when the
or
Pentagon called.
actually I
But
saw that
today, the
photo.
handshake seen by the world. President Xi
I was so
met with
surprised,
Vladimir
seriously.
Putin and has a relationship with Iran. But today he was side by side with the U.S. president. Biden escorting Xi inside. At the top of the stairs, a wave. Inside, President Biden, who's had more than a dozen visits with Xi through the years, said,
Oh my
"It was good
God.
to see you." The two men sitting across
That's
the
a
table
huge
started by
table.
delivering a message to each other. President Biden went first.
There is no substitute to face-to-face discussion. Said it clearly, leader to leader, with no misconceptions or miscommunication.
President, just this past year, the Chinese spy balloon floating over the U.S. And that's the most important bilateral relationship
Oh, they're
in the
walking
world.
together.
Quite an image late today. Mary Bruce with us live from today. We know the list of issues is long. So what are you learning about their talks already?
Well, David, the talks have actually just ended after 4 hours. We did see them take that brief break going for a walk. Biden saying it was going well and giving a thumbs
that
up.
in
It's
DC?
clear they're
No, that's
trying to
in
project a
San
friendlier
Francisco.
image. But President
It's
Xi
in
today was also blunt
Woodside,
to say
California.
one side can't remodel the other. That any conflict and confrontation
Chinese have
would
a
have
garden there?
unbearable consequences
This
for
is
both countries.
in California.
Mary Bruce on this high-stakes summit in California. Thank you,
Woodside,
Mary.
California.
David DePape telling the court Paul Pelosi was not his target. It was Nancy Pelosi. And who he said
And
was
so
to
like
blame.
when
Here's
it
ABC's
was
Mo
like
Lenny.
Tonight, the fate of David DePape, the
Bill
man who brutally
Clinton
attacked Paul
and
Pelosi
Hillary
with a hammer,
Clinton, it's
is
almost
now
like
in the hands
equal,
of
you
the
know,
jury.
they both
Drop
are
the
the
hammer.
politician and they went to the same school, and then it's kind of like equal. But honestly, this is really my first time to heard anything about, oh, our House Speaker has a husband. So like, I would like I am Melissa and this is David instead of I'm only like
Pelosi 3 times in the head,
one of the new.
Just 24 hours
But
ago in
is
court,
there?
DePape broke down crying
If
in
I'm
the
if
stand,
I'm like
saying
kind of like
he
it's
was never my target, and I'm sorry that he got hurt. But he acknowledged his
in
plan was
in
to
David's
confront then
studio. Like if
Speaker
I'm
of the
in
House
David's
Nancy
studio, they're
Pelosi
going to say,
about what
"Oh
he
yeah,
believed
Lisa
were
now is
lies
working
from
with
government
David
officials, pointing to
New."
right-wing conspiracy theories he found
Lisa
online.
is now one of the
Prosecutors claim DePape's
news.
own
Oh,
words
who is
from an
this?
interview he gave to police the day after the attack.
I was going to basically hold her hostage and I was going to talk to her and basically tell her all I do.
Hold her hostage and do what?
And talk to her. If she told the truth, I'd let her go scot free. If she lied, that would have been very bad.
James
So,
Longman
but
reporting
David
in from
lives
Iceland.
in New York, right?
David,
Yes.
Iceland is preparing for an imminent volcanic eruption. There's been